Welcome back, my dear students. Today we are going to explore the amazing types of muscle tissues that make up our body strong, flexible and full of energy. Muscles are the special tissues that allow us to move, pump blood, digest food and even smile. They come in three main types: skeletal, smooth and cardiac. Each type has its own structure, location and unique role. Skeletal muscles help us walk, run and lift. Smooth muscles work quietly inside our organs to keep digestion and blood flow going. And the cardiac muscle never stops beating to keep us alive. Together, these muscles form the powerhouse system that supports every activity of our life. Myology is basically the scientific study of muscles. It's the branch of science where we discuss with the structure or the scientific category of different types of muscles. Muscle cells are basically made up of long cells which are called as muscle fibers or myocytes, which use ATP to produce force. Functions of muscles: they produce body movements, maintain posture, generate heat, they protect internal organs. Now we go for types of muscle tissue. Muscle tissue can be classified into three types based on their structure, function and location. They are skeletal muscle tissue, smooth muscle tissue and cardiac muscle tissue. These are the diagram explaining the structural features of three different types of muscles. Like skeletal muscle cells, skeletal muscle tissue have muscle fiber which are the muscle cell. They have a dotted nucleus and there are striation, so skeletal muscles are called as striated muscles. But within smooth muscle there are no striation, so they are called as smooth muscle fiber or smooth muscle cells, and there is nucleus also present in these cells. Cardiac muscle tissue or cardiac muscle fibers have also striation like skeletal muscle tissue, but they have additional intercalated disc and they have a rounded nucleus. Skeletal muscle tissue shape and structure: they are long cylindrical fibers with stripes or striations visible under a microscope. Their length can range from a few centimeters up to 30 to 40 centimeters in the longest muscles. Their many nuclei located at the edges of each fiber their control can be cautiously controlled, so they are called as voluntary muscles. Their location: they are usually attached to bones via tendons. Their functions are to produce body movements, maintain posture, generate heat and protect various internal organs. These are the skeletal muscles which are attached with our skeletal system or our bone. This is the perimysium, this is the muscle fascicle, this is muscle fiber. We'll discuss in detail in the structure of skeletal muscle tissue, and this is the endomysium. So there are three connective tissue layer: perimysium, epimysium and endomysium. Perimysium is the middle layer, epimysium is the outermost layer and endomysium is the innermost layer just above the cell membrane of individual muscle cell. Smooth muscle tissue shape and structure: they are basically spindle shaped, thicker in the middle. These are the thicker in the middle and they are spindle shaped, tapering at two ends. They are non-striated fibers with a single central nucleus. Connections: their muscle fibers in many areas are connected by gap junctions, allowing them to contract together, such as in intestine. In place without gap junctions, like example iris of the eye, smooth muscle fibers contract individually. But where there are gap junctions, they contract together, but where is the gap junction is absent, there they contract individually. So their control is involuntary. That means work automatically without cautious control. Location: they are found in the iris of eyes, in the walls of hollow organs like blood vessels, airways or trachea, stomach, intestine, gallbladder, food pipe or trachea, urinary bladder and uterus. Their functions is to constrict blood vessels and airways. They push food through the digestive tract. They contract the urinary bladder and the gallbladder also. Cardiac muscle tissue: they are branched and striated fibers like skeletal muscle, but they are usually with have one central nucleus. Sometimes there are two nucleus connections. The fibers are joined end to end by intercalated disc which contain desmosomes, which keeps fiber together during contractions. Gap junctions, they allow rapid electrical signals for coordinated heartbeats. Control, involuntary, they works automatically without cautious control. Location, they are found walls on the heart, they pump blood to the whole body. They are the specialized junctions between neighboring cells, they allow the cells to have synchronized contractions. So these are the comparative features of three different types of muscle: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and the cardiac muscle. Striation, striated or clear alternating light and dark bands are found on the skeletal muscles, but in smooth muscle they are non-striated, so there are no visible bands. But in cardiac muscles they are striated like skeletal muscle but less distinct. Sarcoplasmic reticulum, they are well developed, forms terminal cisterna around T tubules. They stores and release Ca2 plus ions efficiently. Smooth muscles are poorly developed. There are no T tubules. Their calcium 2 plus also comes from extracellular fluid. Cardiac muscle, they are moderately developed. They are less extensive than skeletal muscle, but they have T tubules for calcium release. Troponin, they are present, they regulate actin-myosin interaction. Smooth muscle, troponin is absent but regulation via calmodulin and myosin light chain kinase. Cardiac muscle, they are present, similar to skeletal muscle, they regulate contraction. Calcium release from SR or sarcoplasmic reticulum, calcium releases. They triggered by the action of potential along T tubules. They mainly from extracellular fluid through voltage gated calcium 2 plus channels. Small contribution comes from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. In case of cardiac muscle, the calcium is released from both sarcoplasmic reticulum and extracellular fluid. They are triggered by the action potential. Contraction with nerve stimulation. Skeletal muscle requires somatic motor neuron stimulation which is voluntary, but smooth muscle is mostly involuntary. They can contract without nerve, so they are called as myogenic, but they are influenced by autonomic nerves. But the cardiac muscle, they are also involuntary like the smooth muscle, so their contraction can be myogenic like autorhythmic, but they are modulated by autonomic nerves. Gap junctions, skeletal muscles are absent. They are present in single unit smooth muscle. They allow coordinated contraction. They are present in the gap junction are present in cardiac muscle, but they allow rapid propagation of action potential and coordinated heartbeat. Muscle fiber stimulation, each fiber individually innervated by motor neuron, all or non-contraction. It can be stimulated by hormones, stress or local factors. Single unit fibers contract as a syncytium. Fibers electrically coupled via gap junctions. So pacemaker cells initiate contraction. All fibers contract together in case of cardiac muscle. This is the image of the muscle tissue made up of contractile cells or muscle fibers. There are basically three types of skeletal muscles we have already learned. There is the first one is the skeletal muscle which connect to the skeleton and other structures like eyes. They help with movement, stability, and their nature is voluntary. Cardiac muscles, they are found in the walls of heart. They contract in rhythmic way to pump blood. They are involuntary in nature, but the smooth muscles, they are found in the walls of blood vessels. They contract walls, control blood flow, and they are also found in hollow organs. They control the peristaltic contractions within the digestive tract. They move contents of organs in one direction. They are also involuntary in nature. So my dear students, we have seen that muscles are not all the same. Each type is specialized to perform vital functions. Skeletal muscles give us strength and voluntary movement. Smooth muscles manage internal processes without our awareness, and cardiac muscle keeps our heart pumping tirelessly. Understanding the type of muscles help us appreciate just how beautifully designed our body is to sustain life and activity every single day. Stay curious, keep revising, and see you in the next class. Thank you.